Hey, you dorks, this is Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you are listening to The Dorkening.
Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, and although you probably accidentally stumbled across it and have no idea why you're watching it, you are in fact watching The Dorkening.
Hello, this is Tom Kenny, voice actor, the voice of the Ice King on Adventure Time, and SpongeBob SquarePants. Ah, meow. Oh, Gary the Snail, too. Hey, guess what you're filling your eye holes and ear holes with? The Dorkening! Oh, I love The Dorkening. Very popular in Ooh. And Bikini Bottom.
Hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. You're watching The Dorkening. And you know what? You don't like me when I get angry, so don't get me angry. You better keep watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, this is Felissa Rose, and you're watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, it's Courtney Palm. We're shooting Death House, and you're watching The Dorkening.
This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned. My friend's going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
The Dorkening.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to Creator Spotlight, powered by the Dorkening Podcast Network. We have an awesome show scheduled for you today, as always. And before I get over to everybody that's here, just a heads up, our awesome guest tonight has a new series out and a new short. Links are in the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. A Tale of Tales is the new series, and also 99 Problems, which hopefully will be a series as well. But as always, Patsy, how's it going, my friend?
It's going fairly well. Just hanging out here. Very excited to speak with our guest this week because we've gotten a chance to chat before, and I'm very excited for folks to see what he's up to.
Totally agreed. Philip.
Hey, how's it going, Leo? I'm actually excited because this will be my first time ever discussing or interviewing with the gentleman, so I'm pretty excited. Yeah. I've never met him before. This is it. This is great.
Well, now you can get out like all your people under stairs questions and talk about making stuff on Tubi. A lot of fun stuff. But before we get to the fun stuff, Patsy, who is our guest tonight?
Wow, I love how you say before we get to the fun stuff and then say my name. No, our guest tonight is a veteran actor. He has been in tons of stuff, especially stuff that I enjoy, such as Eternal Code, Agramon's Gate, The People Under the Stairs. In fact, this gentleman is the only Stairmaster you will not find collecting dust in somebody's basement. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are honored to be joined by Mr. Jan Birch.
Hi, nice to be here.
Well, we're very happy to have you here.
Oh, totally.
Thank you so much.
So, 99 Problems. I'm just going to dive right into it because I absolutely friggin' love this. And so this was made during COVID?
Yeah, last summer, July last summer. Yeah, about a year ago now.
That's insane. So this is a short available right now, and you're thinking about moving this to a series?
Yeah, no, this was actually shot as a prelogue for a series. It was like the proof of concept, they call it now. It's basically, when the networks and or the streaming companies, they ask for something more than just a pitch. They say, hey, can you show me something more? So he shot, Michael Cahill, the director, decided to shoot a 16-minute short as a prelogue for a TV series, as I said, which turned out to be more like a proof of concept for Netflix in this scenario. But at the same time, though, shooting this short, he was so happy with the short. He entered all these festivals, and I think to date we have like 24 different awards already on the short. So it's just taken off by itself. It was just meant as a prelogue, but now the actual project itself is taken off with all kinds of critically acclaimed awards and so forth. So I'm very happy to be involved.
Awesome. We don't really want to spoil it, but we have a couple questions because we were talking about it before you hopped on. Do you guys want to get off your questions first before I go to my nonsense?
I think without spoiling anything, I think the way the story is told, how it's framed by the I don't want to say the stranger because that's your character, but by we'll call him a traveler, by the traveler and the waitress, the way things are set up are not quite the way things might be. Like there's a point of view issue. Things are presented in a way to make you react and think one way, and the characters do. And when in reality, there's a completely whole different set of circumstances going on. When you first checked out this script, what was it that really appealed to you?
Well, hold on a second. I really like the story itself, and it has this Twilight Zone feel to it. Like you don't really know what's going to happen. And the fact that somebody, without giving out too much, somebody can actually change the future with a signature, that really appealed to me, because that's the old Twilight Zone, Hitchcock era thing. And I haven't seen anything like that out for a while. So I was very excited about that. And then obviously I was excited because my character turned out to be the twist of the story. I think I can say that much, and that's very appealing as an actor, obviously, to know that you're going to be kind of like the cliffhanger in the end. Really like it, and also of course Michael Cahill. We were supposed to do a movie called Hatred together way back when. It didn't turn out. I didn't turn out being in the movie, but that's how we met, and we've been talking ever since. And so when he called me about this, saying, "Hey, I know this is not the right timing," because it was in the middle of COVID, and I was like so cautious. I'm like, I don't want to shoot anything right now. But he said, well, we follow all SAG rules. We're going to, they just like 15th of June, I think SAG said, the union, the Screen Actors Guild union said, you can start shooting things again. Production can start in LA. That was like 15th of June, I think. So this is like a couple of weeks afterwards. He said, we're going to do this now, this weekend. Are you game? And I'm like, I don't know, because it all depends on what's the security of people not getting sick all over the place. So I called SAG, and Michael and I spoke to SAG together, and they had set all these rules, and he followed them like a T. So I felt much more comfortable, and we had a great time. I mean, basically, one thing I want to say, every single shot was basically shot on a crane. So the DP and the director was never in the same room as the actors. It was done because of COVID, but it also, by doing it, it was actually a really cool thing. I really enjoyed it. And the way they could get the shot. We had this massive crane that actually the camera was on, and in a different room with the sound was also the picture department, like the DP and the director of it, but they sat in a different room and they just watched the monitor while the crane did the work. So we didn't have to do face to face with too many people. It was quite well done.
I was going to say, I watched through the credits. I was kind of hoping for a post-credit scene, to be completely honest with you. But watching through the whole credits, I was like, wow, for a relatively small, quick shoot, there's a lot of people involved here. Like they had the different people doing, waste removal, different people doing, water, different people doing craft service, and there was a lot. The cranes were mentioned multiple times. That was going to be one of the questions I asked. I'm like, it didn't seem like there were a lot of shots that required a crane, but the way you're describing it, it makes perfect sense. Like,
the crane was there the whole time. Yeah, and it was a very big crew. I mean, this is how Michael does things too, though. Michael K.O., the director, an amazing guy. I mean, he doesn't matter if he shoots a 60-minute short or 2-hour feature. He's going to have the same crew there. He's going to make sure it's done right. He's going to have the right people in the right departments. And a simple thing as water, like you just mentioned. So we had a water station because you can't really pass out bottles during COVID. Because, like everybody was worried about who touched what and this and that. So they had a huge water station in the middle of the area where, in between the trailers, where you have to have your own water bottle. And then, they had a person with gloves to push a button to fill up your water bottle. So it was like nobody ever touched anything that anybody else has touched. And same with the food. They had like personalized pizza. So you go up to the chef and you order your own pizza that's delivered to your own trailer. And nobody ate together. Nobody sat together. Nobody, it was different, but it was during the circumstances, it was very comfortable.
Yeah, it said, I noticed at the end, one of the, not disclaimers, but one of the part of the credits said that, all COVID protocols were followed, everybody distanced, wore masks, like all that stuff. So I was like, okay, this is awesome. I like the fact that, people are taking things seriously. Like, you were saying, you were kind of cautious and apprehensive about, going out and doing this. Like I myself, I am fully vaccinated, but I still wear a mask every time I'm in public. If I'm going to the store, if I'm going through a drive-through, I will wear a mask because I don't trust the general public to do the right thing. I mean, that's
I
just
agree
me.
I agree with you 100%. I'll do the same thing. And I mean, and like when I showed up on set on this, it was shot in the middle of the desert, about a couple hours north of LA. Where they have this location it's just for movies. It's a deli, a gas station, a liquor store, whatever, but it's not like, it's never in normal business. It's just for movies. So they have this little thing in the middle of nowhere. It's just desert land. And then in the middle of nowhere, you just see these buildings. And that's where this studio is. It's like, desert studio with all kinds of little different things that you can do. Like I said, including the deli and the gas station and all that. So I pulled up. And as soon as I pull up, a medic came to my car. I rolled down the window. They took my temperature and they took a rapid test immediately. And I had to wait in my car until they get the results before I could go to my trailer. So I mean, they were strict, which made it more comfortable and made it more relaxed. So you can actually feel like, okay, I can shoot this now. Because the last thing you want is to shoot and try to do what you're supposed to do as an actor, worrying about getting sick. I mean, that wouldn't work. So,
yeah, because that's what it said in the credits. Not to continually harp on that, but it said, no one tested positive before, during, or after shooting, which I thought was a nice touch, and a good reason to watch the credits. Not only just because there's more than just, the 5 or 6 people that are on screen and, maybe the 1 or 2 people behind the camera. There's a lot of people that work on a film and, obviously you're a veteran, this, but, not everybody thinks about that when, they're watching something. It's like, oh, well, why, even myself, and I've been working behind the scenes on a couple of things for other people's projects. And I've been learning a lot about what goes on, behind the camera. And it's like, wow, there's so many people on this, and again, you explained that nicely as well. But it's like, wow, like this, for such a large, fairly complex production, and have nobody get sick. Like, you guys obviously were doing everything right, and I commend you guys for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's all Michael Cahill. It was. I mean, it was like I said when he called me. I said, "I'm not coming if you don't follow every single rule." And he's like, "Oh, I agree 100%. Everybody's in the same mindset." Because July last year, nobody wanted to like jump in with another, 40 people in the crew. It was just felt weird because you've been inside, your place since March. We closed down here in March, so it was like in the middle of it. But no, he did it right. He definitely did it right, and I'm glad the result was amazing. Obviously, we now, like I said, 24. I think the 24th award just came yesterday from different festivals. So
how many did you get?
I have not got one for acting yet. No.
What?
It's. I know. I was very happy with my performance. So is everybody else. It seems like, and the reviews seems to speak to it. But the thing is, too, I don't say too much, and sometimes on the festivals, I think they're leaning towards people or actually very actively speaking and so forth when it comes to the acting awards. But in my opinion, it's harder to act when you don't speak than when you do speak. So.
Hey, all I know,
all
I know is that Boba Fett had like no lines in the original Star Wars trilogy, and now he's got his own friggin' series. So that's what we'll look forward to. We'll look forward to The Stranger, a Star Wars story.
Yes, for sure.
So as we were talking about this, and first off, it's unbelievable to think that I was shot just on cranes because it was amazingly shot. Like, you could not tell that this was a short, but it just dawned on me, and I don't want to spoil anything, but the two women are the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just slow, and
one's a before, one's an after.
Yeah. Okay, that just dawned on me. Okay.
Yeah. You're right.
Forget me.
Non-linear storytelling, Leo.
Okay, so that's when he says, "I'll be back later for the second." Okay, that's okay. You know what? I scared Jan away. That's what happened.
You almost spoiled the movie. He was like, "Oh, what a dumb question! I'm out of here." I don't want to talk about cranes anymore.
Okay, while we wait for Jan to come back, want to urge you definitely check out 99 Problems. There's a link in the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. Also, a new series, Tale of Tales, and I believe I have a trailer for that, so I'm gonna run.
Check it out. Yeah.
That reminds me, I got some high-end French smokes, dude. I bet you can sell them for $20. You know what I'm saying? I have 5 packs. I gave them to you for $50.
I didn't sell nothing.
Look, Francisco, we just want to know about Amber.
Seriously? Really? You're not arresting me?
No.
Hey, Nick, I just need a minute of your fucking time, dude. I said not fucking now. I meant not fucking now. Sorry, dude. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Fuck, dude.
Hey.
How you doing?
Better now?
I want to be better too. You got anything?
Always. You got money?
How about we make a trade?
Or did you have in mind?
I'll show you.
We as Americans inherited that arrogance. As I was saying, I ain't never touched this shit. The clients come and they get their goods. And, I don't really see them until they want some more of the goods. I mean, it could be days, it could be weeks. You just reminded me I had something. Like, what's that word? Like, tell us something. Tell us something.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell us something my way out of this fucking conversation and head to my office, all right?
Tale of Tales on Tubi. So
I'm back.
Tubi's...
Sorry about that. Yeah.
That's okay. No worries. Figured while we wait for you to come back, we'd get your screener in for not the screener, but the trailer for Tale of Tales. So that being on Tubi's really becoming a powerhouse for non indie creatives or non like huge
smaller budget films and series.
Yeah, but
they do have huge Hollywood films there as well. We watch it all the time. There's a great family section for the kids and stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, you do get some of the bigger stuff, but it seems like, really, from what I've been hearing, the payout for indie creators or people looking to get started is really a lot better than like the pennies that Amazon, gives you. And, Tubi is absolutely free for everybody, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How are you finding the responses of being on Tubi with Tale of Tales?
It's great. I mean, and basically, as you probably know, and everybody might not be aware, but Tubi was independent originally, and then it was bought by Fox, and now Fox is bought by Disney. So it's a Disney streaming channel now.
Very nice.
So it's getting much more recognized, and much more. The marketplace it's enormous right now because everything that's Disney and Fox can do with Tubi. But there has been known to be more of the independent marketplace at the same time as they have some bigger movies, but they used to be known to have like the movies that nobody else had, basically, that you can get for free. But on that note, Tale of Tales is the first ever exclusive series on Tubi as an original. Everything else they have on there they picked up from another network or another streaming channel. But we actually, Tale of Tales has not been on any other media before or medium before Tubi. So that this is a first for them, which I'm sure is a lot more coming. But I'm very happy to be breaking the ground for Tubi on this one.
Very cool.
I love the interaction you had with Harley in a couple of those scenes. Like, that's awesome. Like, knowing like how good of friends you guys are. Like, to see the two of you guys just like, and you're a tall guy, but Harley's a big dude. Like, and it's not like he doesn't know how to kick people's asses.
Oh, he's a professional. He's a black belt professional fighter. So yeah, for sure.
It's so awesome, like watching you guys, like, because I like everything that you guys are in together to begin with. You and Harley and Katie, like everybody's awesome. Like I can't get enough of the stuff that you guys do together. I have not watched Tale of Tales yet because I've been trying to cram for other podcasts and stuff, but it'll be done soon. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, it's trending now. It's doing really well. It's number one recommended on Tubi. Obviously we didn't start like that, and it was supposed to be released on the 12th, but they had a little difficulty with the artwork. The Fox executives, actually, the Fox was okay with it, approved it 2 months ago, and then the Disney executives came in and said it was a little too spicy. The artwork for the series, so
That's
they
fair.
actually held us back for 6 days. So instead of the 12th, it was actually released on the 18th. That this last past weekend. So it's only been around for about a week out, and it's 8 episodes, first season, all shot. You can binge watch it, and it's one of those. It's like a Cobra Kai. So you have it's like 22 minutes 22 minutes an episode. So it's not like you have it goes quick. They did that format on purpose, obviously, because it's really working. Cobra Kai is really working for them. People are watching a season in a couple of hours, and they just want more. So I think that's one of the new things that's going to happen now. They're going to be shorter and shorter series because of the attention span of their millennials and all that.
Well, I think. Sorry, Leo.
No, I was just going to say, I find the shorter series, you get better quality content out of it. You don't get the fluff filler episodes, like CW watching like the Flash and stuff like that. I can't watch that crap anymore because there's too many filler episodes. It's just get to the guts of it, and give a great story in a lesser amount of time.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I was gonna say, I also think that when it's a quality program, like you could have a 40-minute show. Like I just finished watching last week, Black Summer. I watched the first two seasons, and I watched one episode. I'm like, what is this episode, like 10 minutes long? And I looked, I was like, oh shit, like this was 40 minutes long, but it was just, like you said, Leo, not filler. Like it had a point. It was progressing the story. Like it makes you care about a bunch of different characters, even though you're jumping around. And, kind of similar to like what we just saw in the trailer for, or more like Jan's reel for Tale of Tales.
Yeah. It was not the actual trailer. It was just like it was like a compound of my character, basically. What you just showed. Yeah.
So, obviously that, seems like it's jumping back and forth a little bit, with like between him talking to, I don't know, like some sort of investigator and, bouncing back to like, oh yeah, let's make a trade for the stuff that I got. And, then the scene with Harley, like it's great. Like I love, that type of storytelling where it's like, here's what happened, here's the aftermath of something. And now let's go back and show you how we got to this point.
Yeah, no, I mean it's actually a crime thriller. It does take place in a gentleman's club, so you get all that feedback on it. But it's actually somebody gets killed and they're trying to figure out what happened. And my character from the beginning on that, on paper, it was pretty straightforward, but more bland, like just the hippie drug dealer in a club, basically, that caters to the girls and whoever else wanted. And I read it, and I came over and I started discussing with Harley, and I'm like, I'd rather have him more like the janitor in Three's Company, if you remember that old show, who he just pops up once in a while, and every time he pops up, he gets the attention, and is more like a comic relief in all this darkness we had. And Harley really liked that take on it. So all my choices is more like he's quirky, he's a little weird, but he knows what he wants, but at the same time he gives you a laugh, more or less. So that's kind of how we played, and I think it came out really, really well.
So you're the Mr. Roper?
Yes. Yeah. I'm the Mr. Roper of Tale of Tales. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How you doing there, Phil? You popped out and you got a little fuzzy. Are you with us?
Yeah. One computer kind of crashed.
That's not any better.
Oh,
I dropped.
You're a robot, Phil. You're a robot. Do you want to maybe restart and then pop back? Because it actually showed 2 connections, so that may be sucking your bandwidth. So why don't you do that, restart, come back, and we definitely want to make sure you get some questions in for Jan, since this is your first time talking to him. Cool.
Yeah, so we had Harley on, I want to say a year ago, a little more than that, for a different interview, for I believe it was Agramon's Gate, which is how I got introduced to you. And you've done a ton of stuff. Like, what has been like your most enjoyable project? Because I know there's some other stuff coming up. There's one that I'm dying to see that you're in, and I'm kind of curious about your thoughts, because I know a couple of people who are in this film, you included, but Sky Sharks. I'm very interested to get a chance to see this one. What did you think of that one? I know it's a crazy friggin' premise, but what did you think of being in that one?
No, I had a great time shooting that. I love the director and the producers, and we had a blast. And like you said, most of the people in there are friends of mine. I mean, they had an enormous cast of mostly horror actors. We had a blast shooting it. I enjoyed it very much. I liked the movie as it came out. And I did my part. It's so many different people in it, so it's like smaller clips here and there. And but it finally came out. It took them a long time to get this movie made. So I have to give them some credit for that and respect. It's playing now, and I think all in all, if you like that kind of film, like gore and the horror comedy thing, that's definitely a movie for you.
Well, I don't know if you can tell from my background, but I'm big into the shark movies. But So what's been like, if we were to like say break your career up into, just like 10 year spans, what's been your favorite thing to work on in say like the last 10 years and the 10 years before that and the 10 years before that?
All right. I mean, the first 10 years, let's go backwards.
Okay.
I mean, from so it's a 30-year anniversary of People on the Stairs this year. It came out Halloween 1991. I have to tell you, that's still one of my absolute favorite movies to shoot, to watch, to enjoy. Experiences with Wes Craven as a director. That's still my number one favorite, hands down. So that's 30 years ago now. The second 10 year is probably, let me see now, what would that be within the 2000s? Probably Bless the Child, that came out 2000. I had a really good experience with Chuck Russell, the director, and Kim Basinger and Jamie Smits, and Rufus Sewell. I enjoyed the company of the cast a lot. We had a lot of good times off set, and Chuck as a director is amazing. I also enjoyed being on Charmed quite a lot in that time period. And then the last 10 years, I would say, Sky Shark was a good experience, but I think my favorite film on that thing was probably Agamemnon's Gate, that I had the most fun on. I had a blast on Agamemnon's Gate.
You can tell that you guys had a good time on that film because it really shone through in all of your characters. Like, obviously, not just you, not just Harley, but everybody who is in that movie gave such a great performance, and it was so fun watching you guys interact with each other. Like, you could tell that there was more of a closeness that you guys could have had, like a camaraderie that maybe you might have been. I'm trying not to say this in like a negative tone to make it seem like 99 Problems was bad or anything, but like there's a difference between like the way everybody acts in a film when they can spend time together off camera then like you develop that bond and that chemistry as people and actors before your characters. You know what I mean? Like I think that it might have been harder to do, filming 99 Problems because you guys were separate from each other. Like you said, you couldn't eat lunch together. You couldn't have you had to have somebody like sterilized giving you water. Like it was a much different experience. Can you tell us a little bit about, something like that, like how that...
No, it definitely reflects your performance. Like I said, on People on the Stairs, we're one big family. Wes was like the big daddy, taking care of everyone. And we talked every day, several times a day, about what we're going to shoot. And he added more scenes and more pages. Brandon Adams was 11 years old, so his grandmother trusted me to take care of him on set. And I mean, it was kind of like that. So it was between Brandon and Wes. I was like the middleman there. And that was one big family, and that was great. The Bless the Child with Chuck Russell, same thing. We flew. I flew a couple of days before I was shooting, and he flew me up to Canada. We shot in Toronto, and we were hanging out for a couple of days before we even filmed with Kim and Jimmy and everybody else. And it makes a difference because you kind of feel more relaxed. It's more like you know them already. It's kind of like I wouldn't say friends, but they're like closer acquaintances instead of just being thrown in. And that is true with 99 Problems. We were all isolated at that point. Everybody on that set came from an isolated situation, and they threw us all into an isolated set. So yeah, it was a little different, but on set we still try to talk to each other, try to warm up, try to get to know each other a little bit in between takes, as much as you can. But I agree with you. It does usually make a difference when you get to hang out a little bit in between takes and before and after.
Yeah, because I don't want anybody thinking that like I didn't like you guys, like the interactions you had. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the short. Like I thought it was fucking great. Like I liked the way everybody, played their roles, and everybody did it really well. And, I especially like your line, like, I'm not done with my pie yet, like that was such a great line, and it was delivered so well. And it's like, Oh man, like you don't understand how dangerous this dude is. Like you're so good as a badass character, and I want to see more of that, Jan.
Yo,
Totally
thank you.
agree.
Thank you. No, I had a blast on that set. And like Michael's a great director too. He told me, he whispered some things in my ears for the background of the character before we shot. You know, like he set up the situation in my head, what happened before I came to the deli, which is very important. And you know, all directors don't do it, but the directors usually have some kind of a thing they want to set you up with. If you don't do all, you know, you do your own background work, but it's always great to work with a director who has something to whisper to you right before you shoot. I mean, that's Wes did it, Chuck does it, Michael does it, Holly does it. I mean, it's something that I really appreciate.
Nice. Phil, how's your connection? You look a little fuzzy. Can we hear you?
How about now? Am I coming in good or am I fuzzy?
You're coming in and out, but we might be able to get a question through you. Do you got a question for Jan?
Sure, I'll attempt my best with my weird connection. So, Jan, with 99 Problems, you mentioned that it was supposed to be a proof of concept, and it was so well received by folks that it became a fan favorite at festivals. I was curious if you mentioned it'd be a TV show or something is what it was attempting to go for, but could it become a motion picture instead? The director has done a feature film, and you almost were in that film. So if that was the case, would he bring you back as well, you think? And would you most certainly jump on that opportunity?
Oh, if he makes a film out of that, I most likely, I would knock on wood. I'm sure I'm going to be in it. And I would jump on the opportunity to make a film with Mike based on this concept. I do think his focus now is to make it a series because of the opportunities and the endless possibilities of making a series on this concept. Like basically, if you can change the future to avoid something bad happening, would you? I mean, he can do like 500,000 different ways on a series. So that's, I think, why they are focusing on a series, because every episode could be completely different in the same line of thought. Kind of like a Twilight Zone, you know?
Yeah. Well, sort of like a Twilight Zone meets Quantum Leap type of thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see, like, you know, because I like to, you know, imagine backstories for characters. If we don't get a lot of information, I would imagine that you and the Traveler have some sort of history where you can't directly influence each other. Like you can't confront each other for whatever reason. So you're constantly showing up to do different things, and he's constantly showing up to try and stop you from doing different things because you're both aiming at a specific outcome. Like you both know what the end game is, and he's trying to stop you, and you're aware that he's trying to stop you. Like that's where my head is, you know, mainly because I just want to see more of your character.
Yeah.
Well, you know, later seasons of Quantum Leap, you had the evil leaper as well. So it was like, you know, good versus evil. So I could see that, you know, you're like a demon zapping through different times and, you know, looking to cause havoc, and the Traveler is looking to
well, his character seems like he was the good guy. You were the good guy.
I was going to say, I don't think
he saved the day, and then afterwards, you know, he just had to go outside to take a smoke. That's all. He's a hero.
But
You're
did he
the
save
hero.
the day? Like that's the thing, we don't know. Like, is what he did? Is
Yeah,
what
he did. He stopped the two criminals. And
right,
saved
but
the two
what
people in the
happens?
restaurant.
But what happens if those two people weren't supposed to be saved? What happens if those two people were actually supposed to be killed, and they were supposed to die because one of them, say the woman gives birth to the Antichrist, or the other guy goes and, you know, assassinates a world leader? You know, what happens
that's
then?
Fair, but I'm just looking at this 15-minute short, and he's the hero.
Well, there's too much we don't know. There's too much we don't know. Like most of the characters don't have names. It's the woman. It's the stranger.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason for that. That's a
And
very
if it's-
strong storytelling device.
And if it's a Twilight, if it had, if
yeah. Obviously, yeah.
Well, we obviously loved it because we're debating over the little bit of it, but it's you guys need to do more of that. It's
Yeah, I'm not saying that the stranger wasn't a bad guy because he could have been a criminal or whatever. But in this short, he saved the day because he saved 2 people, and I think we just lost Jan now.
we lost Jan. Yeah. While we wait for Jan, I'm gonna play a Deadly Grounds ad. Obviously, Deadly Grounds, sponsor of the network. We absolutely love them. Little mom and pop shop here in Connecticut, and they make the absolute best coffee you'll ever have. But here's a zombie talking about coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
You know, with Jan and Philip having issues, maybe it's a StreamYard issue.
I don't know.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because it's weird because even when I went down, I got disconnected. But when I came back, I could hear you guys perfectly. So,
Yeah, and you're
Jan's trying to get back.
Yeah, we got Jan back. Jan, can you hear us?
It just went all black on me.
That's weird. We're thinking since you're having an issue and Philip has an issue that maybe StreamYard is having some problems. You know, because I mean, we're the only people streaming now.
This wasn't on me. The last time was me, I think. This time, everything just went black and then just defaulted me into the backyard.
But right. Jan had some great one-liners in the little script. When you were doing 99 problems, did you have the script, or were you able to improvise a bit, or was it a combination of both?
Oh, what the heck?
Sometimes these things do that.
Yeah. Well, it is that time. So I know we loved 99 Problems, and also we urge you definitely check it out. It is available to watch right now. Links are in the show notes, and also Tale of Tales. I'm halfway through the series. I think you'll definitely enjoy it, Patsy. And
Phil,
Phil,
I mean, anything that Harley does, I have been all for.
Yeah. And I didn't know Sky Sharks was out.
I didn't either. I kept waiting to see like some sort of ad or something for it, but now I know, and that's exciting and awesome, and I'm very happy.
Totally. It's available on Amazon.
Ooh.
Ah.
That might be another one to buy.
Is it free? Free?
No, not available. It's
rental.
You can rent it or buy a DVD.
I will buy a physical copy because like I said, Jan's in it, Scrondo Mitsutaki is in it. And those are 2 people I respect immensely in the filmmaking industry. So I will definitely give that my dollars.
Totally. Okay. Well, I mean, we are coming close on time. If we don't get Jan back, then we'll call it shortly. Let's see. So as of recently, Tale of Tales. Oh, sorry.
We still have 7 minutes, so I want to ask you, Leo. What was your opinion of 99 Problems? What is Patsy or am I right, or is it somewhere in between where the stranger is just ambiguous and you really don't know?
See, when I first started watching it, I thought that the stranger was the devil, and he was like. He was people were selling their souls. That was my first thought of it going into it. But as it progressed, obviously it's not. But I have the feeling that the traveler is a good guy. You know, that's my thought. But that's the great thing about this short is it can be taken either way. You know, and
Yeah, you're back. You can hear us, right?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me? I'm back.
we can hear you.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question about 99 Problems. Right before we dropped, I was asking you a question. Obviously, the script had some great one-liners for you and whatnot. I was curious if you were able to improvise, or was it full script that you had, or did the director give you access to improvise a bit?
Well, Mike is easy. I can ad-lib some stuff or words that makes more comfortable for me when I say them. But in this particular project, I kind of stuck to the lines more or less because it was not that many lines, and the lines that he had chosen basically made sense and they spoke to me. So I might have changed a word here and there, but in this particular project, I kind of stuck to the script more or less.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, on the same vein, so Tale of Tales, watching your character, have you been working on trying to soften your accent?
Well, yeah, always a little bit, depending on the character I play. Like in 99 Problems, he wanted me to be like Scandinavian heritage, and so he wanted it to spill out a little bit. And a lot of projects they do want that. But in Tale of Tales, yeah, no, there was a choice of being as American as possible in that character for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it threw me. I'm like, because you have such an amazing accent, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, holy crap, you really can't tell that. For me, it was like totally gone. You definitely had a American accent down pat.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, that was the intention.
Yeah, you were as good as Christian Bale. When he pretends he's an American, you were as good as him.
Oh, thank you. That's a great compliment. Great comparison. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Just don't yell at anybody on set, right?
Yeah, no, I agree on that.
I just want to say before we go, and I mentioned this to Jan when we had our interview, whenever it was a while ago. Jan, you're a very good-looking man, but folks need to see pictures of you when you were younger. Those were like professional model pictures.
Yeah, I have a few of those. Yeah.
So, folks, you'll see why he's been in the film industry for so long. Just Google Jan Birch and look at some of the photos of him when he was younger. And I was like, because I said, it's like, man, the Stairmaster people missed a golden opportunity to feature you in their ads because you were the Stairmaster in People Under the Stairs. And it's like, I'm like, the advertising writes itself.
Now, Pat, I have a question here. Are you trying to say he's not good looking anymore?
No, I said he is a good looking guy.
But telling people to go back to when he was 20. Come on, man.
No, I said he's still a good looking guy.
I'm busting you, Pat. I'm busting you, Pat.
Yeah.
It's like, if you look at my pictures from when I was younger, I do not look. I do not look like I did back then. Jan still has it. He's just got the facial hair now. He's still got the long, luxurious lion's mane.
I don't know if it's luxurious, but yeah.
Better than mine.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Well, it's a little better than yours.
Yeah, you wouldn't trade though.
No, I would not trade you. No. That I can guarantee. Yeah. But I agree. I've been around for a while, so yeah, obviously you can find pictures that are a little dated, and some people, pictures that are newer. And I did a lot of modeling in those days, in the late '80s, early '90s. So you can find a little bit of a different kind of collages online for sure.
I just wanted people to be aware of that. That's all.
And you know what? They did negotiate with Stairmaster, but they didn't go for it. I think they negotiated a little too early because the movie wasn't that big yet, and they started negotiating right away. Universal got involved, so that's also like when a big company talks to a big company. I think it's a little. They probably should have waited a year or two and then just say, "Hey, look what happened to this movie." But that's not the way it was handled. But I agree with you 100% on it.
Now, being an expatriate of Sweden, do you hang out with other expatriates like Stellan Skarsgård and all those folks and the Sons and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm close to Alexander Skarsgård for since way back when, and Stormer I meet once in a while. We're not that close, but Alexander stayed on my couch when he was auditioning for True Blood.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you guys spoke Swedish in the house, right? Not English, right?
Oh yeah, Swedish for sure. Yeah. And Holly and I, we do both. Holly is also Swedish. We speak Swedish, English, but actually on the phone we speak a lot of English. It's just it's just easier sometimes because he's from Skåne, which is the southest, as far south you can get in Sweden, and they have, for some reason, every country in the south they have this drawl. It doesn't really matter what country it is, but he's got the Swedish drawl. So it's like sometimes it's easier just to speak English with him.
Right.
That's yeah, because I was gonna mention, I'm like I think his like Instagram handle or something is like Harley the Swede. So it's like, yeah, he's got Swedish heritage as well.
Oh yeah, no, he's born and raised in Sweden, the same as I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And that we have that connection. Obviously, that's one of the reasons we really hit it off when we started working together. I've done 5 projects with him now, including Tale of Tales was the 4th one. We just shot another movie, which I want to shout out for, called Beneath Us All. The first time me and Sean Whalen are starring together in the last 30 years, since People Under the Stairs.
Wow.
Sean is playing this foster beer drinking redneck, basically, and I am playing a Viking vampire that takes care of his family in a different way. Yeah.
You look the same as you did 20 years ago.
Yeah. Now the movie starts like 1,200 years ago, and then then we have some scenes as Vikings, and then it fast forwards to present time. Very interesting movie. You have to look out for that one. We just finished shooting. I came back from Michigan like a week or 10 days ago.
Yeah, because Harley shoots everything in Michigan, right?
Everything in Michigan. Yeah. And we shot 2 weeks of nights. My part, because I'm a vampire. So that was a heavy shoot. It takes some toll. It's a little different. Obviously, the older you get, shooting nights is not as easy as it was when you were 23. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, I've been, because you and I and Harley and I and Sean and I are all Facebook friends, so I've been seeing like teases for this for the longest time, and it's like, oh, when is this gonna come out? I need to see this. Like I said, I've been heavily invested in everything you guys have done so far, so I just want to see more. Yes.
Yeah, no, this Beneath Us All was supposed to be shot right before COVID. See, that's what happened. It was in deadline. It was announced in deadline, I think, November 19 or something. And then COVID hit, so we never got to do it. It was supposed to be shot spring 2020. So we actually shot it spring 2021 instead. Spring, summer. I mean, he started shooting, I think, May, and we just finished. So
nice.
Yeah,
coming out.
Did you get any tips from Alexander Skarsgård? He played the vampire too, right? The Viking vampire.
Yeah. No, we didn't really talk about that part at all. But we do have that in common now, for sure.
Yes, you do. Yeah. So I was working in Michigan. Did you like working up there?
Yeah, no, like I said, this is I never worked in Michigan before I started working with Harley, but now I've done 5 projects in Michigan and in the suburbs. It's nice. I mean, for me, it's not, I fly in, I stay in the same hotel every time, and it's so busy that I just shoot. I go to a hotel, I sleep, I go back to set, I shoot, I go to a hotel and sleep. So I don't really get to see too much of Detroit per se, but it's a great hotel. Where we've always stayed, the Park Hotel over there in Rochester. We always stay at. Shout out to them. It's a fantastic establishment, and they're very, very open to us and friendly, and love to have us. He has all the actors stay in the same place.
Very nice. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that seems to be a thing with the Skarsgårds playing vampires, because Bill was a vampire in Hemlock Grove.
Yes. I don't know Bill that much. Alex and I are the one of the closest. Met his father a couple of times. Otherwise, Gustav I haven't really met, and Bill I haven't really met. But Alexander and I, yes, for sure. We were going to do a movie in 2004, a Swedish movie that I actually was producing and starring in, that we were shooting in Sweden, and so we became quite close then. And the movie didn't pan out in the end, but that's how we started, getting a closer relationship together.
That's still awesome, though. Like, even though certain projects may not pan out, like, you're building these bonds and these friendships, and clearly it worked out because he was able to crash on your couch.
Yeah, for sure.
We definitely urge everybody to check the show notes up above, down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. 99 Problems and Tale of Tales. Also recently, Amityville Harvest you have out, Sky Sharks, Portal, Eternal Code, Agramon's Gate, and a bunch more. And
Beneath Us All. When is that supposed to come out? Do you know?
Probably around February-ish 2022, because I know they're doing into post for 2 months now, and then they go into the sound editing for 2 months. So probably they have a picture around November, December, and then it all depends on when the distributor wants to release it. But I suspect early 2022 sometime.
Well, whenever it's ready, you're welcome back.
Oh, for sure. Now, me and Holly should come together on that one. Maybe even with Sean, the three of us.
If Sean can get on too, awesome. Like, if it's all of you, one of you, two of you, it doesn't matter. We just want to promote the hell out of your guys' stuff.
Yeah, no, we should, I'll talk to Sean. The three of us should do something.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, when you guys are ready, just, we'll be on the lookout. So I'm sure I'll reach out to you as well, but we'll see if we can get you to do the rounds on the shows on the network and do what we can to push you.
Yeah, I literally told Harley today, because I put up a post because I'm doing another Women in Horror series of articles, and he suggested, obviously, Katie and someone else whose name escapes me at the moment, but from Agramon's Gate. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm actually chatting with Jan tonight. And he's like, well, let me know when you got some time, and, you should have me on. I'm like, you name the time, and I'll make time for you, Harley.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, no, he's got a lot of things going now. Yeah, now with the Tale of Tales rocking, trending on Tubi, and then Beneath Us All coming out. Agramon's Gate, like I said, is doing amazing on AVOD, on video on demand. I think got like over 1 million hits so far. I think, or purchases.
It's so good.
On there.
Yeah, I've recommended it. I think I did a review for both that and Eternal Code. I just anybody who's watching, Eternal Code, Agramon's Gate, watch those movies.
Totally.
Cool.
Phil, have you seen Agramon's Gate?
No, I have not. I have not seen it yet.
You need to watch it.
Yeah, if it's available on VOD everywhere, I can rent it and check it out.
Yeah, you can get it anywhere now.
Nice. Sure. Excellent.
Yeah. Well, like I said throughout the show, definitely check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. Jan, where do you like fans interacting with you on social media?
Instagram, Jan Birch page. Facebook is just Jan Birch, and Twitter is Jan Birch. And they can also check out my website, janbirch.com.
Cool beans. Philip.
Yes, folks can find me at darkdiscussions.com. is the all-news network of movies and pop culture. It's updated daily, so people check it out. We've had a 10th year anniversary just this past March. And, of course, you can check us out on Facebook as well.
Cool. Passe.
You can find me here every Monday. You can find me every Thursday on Throwdown Thursday. I know I said that we just had our 6th anniversary. It was actually our 5th anniversary because I can't count apparently, and did not take the time to go and look. I just assumed it was 2015, so that was on me. But so next year we will be celebrating our 2nd annual 6th anniversary. But you can also find me on the Loudest Sports Show, and check out throwdownthursdaypodcast.com. I've been putting up some new articles. I just did one on how the Philadelphia 76ers Ben Simmons is completely overrated. You might be, if you're a sports person, you might be hearing that a lot. I actually wrote this article in 2019, and everything that I said in that article is now being regurgitated by every talking head and analyst since the Sixers got bounced out of the playoffs because Ben Simmons is absolute trash. Good thing they're only paying him $35 million a year. I think that's about it where you can find me. But check those places out. And if you are a horror fan, check out Tales from the Crypt. I just won a whole bunch of stuff, or I got the stuff that I won, and she actually just did a drawing for some dirt from the crawl space of John Wayne Gacy's house. So if you are a horror fan, you need to check out that group.
And that's CAILS, right?
Yep, Tales from the Crypt. She is raising money for her restaurant. They've already got the LLC. They're opening a restaurant later this year in Salem, a horror-themed restaurant. It's something Salem does not have, strangely enough.
Who'd have thunk? That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah. Well, for me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. But more importantly, follow these awesome people. Go watch everything Jan does. We absolutely love him. And he's just a masterpiece, everything. I do several shows here on the network, the Dorkening Podcast Network, which I do run. Head on over to thedorkening.com. Over 40 shows on the network now, which is absolutely insane. But I do this every Monday. Tuesdays, I do Splash Pages, the Comic Book Club. Wednesdays, I produce a show for the Token Dead guys, Still Token With. And then after that, we do the Dorkening. And look for a new show on Sundays. We have somebody else joining the network, a comedian that is well known in the New England area. He's going to be doing, I believe it's called Confessions from, I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, keep it on.
Check the show notes up above or down below. And by the way, I Googled Leo Pond today, and I don't think all of them are you.
Probably not. Oh, Confessions from the Convent. That's it. I'll need to work on that. But
one of them is about a third grader.
Yeah. I'll it's been a while since I Googled myself, so I know that sounds absolutely tasty. But anyway, with that, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Thank you so much.